Hi, Thrand here.
Hi, this is Eldgrim.
And we're back with a very special episode. I won the coin toss last one, and I got to test out the late century Viking or Norman sword. Great arming sword, and it is quite a broadsword. It's great for lots of heft for cutting one-handed, and it was designed to defeat mail. I mean, get around into niches and have enough power to actually put a nice blow into somebody, into their shoulder or something. But today we've got a 13th century sword, and it was actually kind of an upgrade from that in the sense that what they were trying to do is give you more length, more reach, a little more of a tapered point for thrusting. Although, I mean, it has quite good point control. It's not going to be like a rapier or something.
No, not at all.
It's still more like using a regular arming sword.
It's kind of the best of both worlds. A little bit like having a rapier in the sense that you have the length and the tapered point, but you still have all the advantages of a long sword, so you still have the cutting and the...
It's a long length, yeah. And you've got the way the pommel is made and the grip, you can get an extra hand on here if you need it. So if you get tired, because this is quite heavier than some arming swords, or I should say heavier, but lengthy. The length is not really weight. It's not much heavier than this one I have, but it's balanced differently.
Right.
It's balanced to be blade heavy in the sense that you get a good cut with it, but it also has a good thrust to it. They were trying to compensate in a transitional era around if I'm not mistaken, it's the 13th century.
Right.
And 1350s, they started getting actual long swords where you see what everyone's familiar with. I mean, they're exactly like late century, 14th, 15th century long swords, but they start actually getting actual long swords.
And that all has to do with the progression in armor.
So this is more of an arming sword or a war sword, or it's a slight hand and a half. It's not quite. I mean, it's
not
a good
quite,
in between
but it's
progression.
It's getting there.
It's what happened in the 13th century. And it's a very interesting blade. I like the way it feels personally.
Oh, I do
like
too.
a slightly blade heavy. It's not real blade heavy. I don't know how to explain. It's more of the taper, or the distal taper is, and the way it feels. It's not really heavy in weight. It just feels like it's got a nice cut to it. And you can get a very decent thrust with the shape of the tip.
No doubt about it. I feel very comfortable with it. As a rapier user, I can tell you that this thing is going to thrust like nobody's business.
Well, anyway, we're going to get started, and we're going to test this out today. Beautiful! Beautiful! That was awesome, Eldgrim. That sword does have the cutting ability that
This thing's a beast!
Oh yeah, that's why they gave the extra handle, because you could get tired wielding that thing one-handed. If you had to swing it too much, or something happened to your shield, the amount of armor they were wearing, they could actually use it two-handed if necessary.
Well, yeah, it could do a lot like your Viking sword and smash people through mail, but at the same time, through pieces of plate, you could...
William Wallace would have seen swords like that, honestly, in his era. That's the type of sword a lot of people would be carrying. Excellent test.
I love it.
Like throwing, just focus on what you did. Nice. Oh God, that exploded! I can't believe that.
That is an amazing sword. I love this thing. I was right to say this is my new blade. I mean,
ooh, and that's a very difficult thrust to make. That's what I said. I love the taper on that. Right into that's the barrel that we were having trouble with. You threw that blade through. Excellent.
Oh, nice. I'm telling you.
And when you thrust that barrel, you can't just walk up and push through it.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you have to literally throw the blade. You have to throw it through. So
I'm telling you, this thing is
test.
perfect.
Ah! Oh God, that was nasty. Man. Beautiful. Pick that up. That was a bad stand on my part. Oh yeah, I have not seen that kind of carnage in a while. Bring that head over here and show it to everybody. Let's see the actual, let's see I want to see the missing skull. Oh, you know what kind of sword it takes to do that kind of damage? That is unbelievable. We're losing him. We're losing him.
But
that was a beautiful cut.
Oh man,
I'm sorry that our stand is wearing out, so that's not Eldgrim's fault there.
Well, yeah, this 4x4's been through a lot.
Oh yeah, we need to make a whole new one for this, but look at the cut that this thing delivered. That is unbelievable.
I'm telling you, Thrand, I have found myself a sword.
That looks like Brett Chan off of Deadliest Warrior with the Naginata.
Yep.
Yeah, but we went through a harder, so I'm sure this is much harder than what they use with the ballistics gel and the coconut.
I'll be honest with you.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, you can use this hand and a half, and while I like that option, I find just single-handing with this a lot more comfortable.
Works great. Yeah.
Yeah, it works, especially works for my height, my arm length, and everything. I think it just works. Medieval shop. 13th century arming sword.
They gotta see it. They gotta see it. It cut it off perfectly. We got a perfect piece. If I can figure out how it goes, that was a perfect slice.
I'm telling you.
That I have not seen.
You get a lot of bang for your buck out of these, and that's this one and the late Viking
we need
age
to do
sword.
something, guys, out there. If anybody has any suggestions, the actual PVC pipe that we use with wood, impartial part of it, to hold it into the stand is not working that good. I mean, it's slipping out. So we need to find some way to secure this where the head is more solid on the spine, because the spine wouldn't slip out of a.
Well, you know,
that's the only thing I've noticed.
Suggestions from our viewers are always welcome.
We would like suggestions on how to improve our Evar, the Draugr heads. These are supposed to be tougher than human skulls. Really show how impressive the weapon is, but we need to find ways to make them a little better. If anybody has suggestions out there, would like to come up with ideas for molds or materials, let us know. We like the coconut. That's right. Anyway,
guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. That's YouTube channel Thrand. Also, check us out on Facebook. You can find us at Thrand and Eldgrim, Well of Remembrance. And don't forget about our closed group. That's the Thrand YouTube boat crew. This closed group is open to our die-hard fans. You get to see things that no other fans get to see. You get to see still photographs from the set, sometimes video footage that we don't release on YouTube. And so it's always a lot of fun, and of course everybody participates, so it's a great thing to check out. Just ask us to join, and we'll be happy to let you in. Don't forget, donate at www.patreon.com/Thrand and help us improve our content. The more donations we get, the better our videos are for y'all, and of course they're better for us too.
Farewell.
Farewell.